Nail Kurt, the CEO of FNSS. The main activities in the region of FNSS has been very intense since the establishment of the company back 30 years back. We have achieved significant sales in the region, mainly in Malaysia to start with. Early 2000s we signed the Adnan contract, delivered tracked vehicles of 15-ton class, followed by another batch of Adnans, indeed another 2 batch of Adnans, and finally we signed the 8x8 Gempita program under the leadership of DEFTEC, our local partner here in Malaysia. Well, we showed in IDEF in Turkey. This is basically a lighter version of Pars family. We call it Pars Scout. You see here the 6x6 version. There is also 8x8 version of it. It is made specifically for the Turkish requirement, which is under tender now. And we are close to finalization, I believe, in Turkey. It is called Special Purpose Vehicles. It is around different versions of reconnaissance vehicles. It is not any different from the main Pars configuration, other than it is a bit lighter and simpler version. But in terms of load capacity, it is also as capable as Pars, and it gives some, being light gives some additional features, and you compromise with some additional armor, of course, but for the basic needs of the user we have now a different version that we can offer. So when it is a compromise between different tactical needs, overall, there are 12 different variants, and I must say Malaysian Army is very clever defining the variants that they need. So it comes as a complete package defined at the beginning of the contract, so there are no gaps later on in the requirement range. And here you see 3 different variants. All variants serve for infantry as well as cavalry. Among the variants there are 30 mm 2-man turreted versions, 25 mm 1-man turreted versions, command posts, ambulances, recovery vehicles, what have you. I mean, as I said, there are plenty of different configurations, all defined together with the end user to the exact needs of the user. For the final contracts, it's 255 vehicles, and most of those vehicles are being produced in Malaysia at DEFTEC facilities. And we are under this contract, we are cooperating with DEFTEC. There is a technology transfer involved. Some of the production has been transferred to DEFTEC, PECAM facilities. And also the selling rights, some IP rights of the vehicles have been transferred to DEFTEC, given certain export markets, and the Gempita name has made it finally a real Malaysian vehicles. FNSS has been working on both tracked and wheeled vehicles, and we have different contracts signed with a variety of countries for both vehicle types. And here we wanted to just show the other range of products. Mainly our products range from 15 to 35, even 40 tons in some contracts now. And evidence of those are shown here. One of the new ones you see on my left is the new generation tracked vehicle. This is what we call Kaplan 20. It's basically a 24 tons tracked vehicle. There is also a 30-ton version in the works at FNSS now, so we will be able to demonstrate it next time, hopefully. At the back, further back, you see Pars 4x4. which is also under contract with the Turkish MOD. It is a weapon carrier's vehicle for carrying anti-tank weaponry. The third one is the amphibious assault bridge, which was delivered to Turkish Army, and this is another specialty vehicle that we had managed to design and produce and deliver to the Turkish Army, and there is significant attention in the region also for that vehicle. So in two countries we are promoting that vehicle now. And further back you see the medium weight tank. It's another very interesting and challenging program. It is under the Turkish and the Indonesian MOD cooperation under the Defense Cooperation Agreement. So it's a G2G deal basically, but we are cooperating with PT Pindad company of Indonesia as FNSS. It is a co-development program for the requirements of Indonesia and hopefully in the future Turkey. That the prototype has been produced, 2 prototypes. It is about to start testing, qualification testing in Indonesia, including the mine tests and everything. And we hope there's going to be a significant interest in the region about that product. It is a different and interesting business model. We started this as a G2G co-development program based on the requirements of the Indonesian Army. FNSS partnered with PT Pindad, the local company in Indonesia, and later our MOU with PT Pindad was escalated to MOD level, and under the Turkish-Indonesian in the military cooperation agreement, this has become a co-development program, and it was financed for 3 years by both countries, and finally we came up with this prototype. The chassis has been produced, the first one in Turkey, FNSS, and the second one in Indonesia. The 2 prototypes are ready to qualification tests in Indonesia, and it will be starting very soon. I must say that the development included the chassis based on the requirements of the CMI 105 turret. So we haven't developed a new turret for this case. It is the CMI turret. It was the choice of the Indonesian Armed Forces.